every time and you will kill it. The green guard has 4 different scripts, 2 of which you can just place the bomb down and then run in a circle. The other 2, you can pick it up and throw it at the guard. And then there's the rat, in which there's no script for that at all, so it's just random. You have to hope.
Well, Uncle doesn't have a sword, but he left the sword in his house today, so we have a fighter sword to start.
I feel if you're gonna go and attempt to save the princess, you should bring a weapon, Uncle. Well, I suppose he is, but leaving a sword behind is pretty reckless.
Yes. Alright, well, again, one of the other 5 items will be what Uncle has, because, again, we left that sword in the chest.
Bomb start. Luckily for these runners, if they aren't practiced on the bomb start, does have a sword, so you don't have to waste your bombs. And looks like we're getting a powder early too.
Okay. That's actually in some ways best of both worlds, because you get the sword, so you have a permanent melee weapon, and then you don't have to farm bombs for back of escape, you've already got them. So this should be a pretty fast run through the escape sequence.
Yeah, I can agree on that. Not having to farm bombs, having a weapon that's unlimited ammo, you don't have to kill anything at all in here. You have those 4 things you are forced to kill, as well as, I guess, a 5th being that ball and chain guard. But other than that, you can just lightning speed through this.
And we have a piece of heart to start in the escape sequence.
And we'll see what else is locked beneath.
Looks like Mageius just going with the standard Link Sprite, and Malinis is using the Frog Sprite, which I remember Glenn Ty used that one also yesterday.
Yeah, the Chrono Trigger Frog, a very nice sprite indeed, which for some reason its fairy form is Bomberman, and it looks like we're getting a lamp early on.
Okay, now in standard mode, the lamp is not required to be in the escape sequence. The light cone is automatically turned on for the runners to get out, and then all the other dark rooms from there. So it's a happy coincidence that we got lamp early in the escape sequence.
Yeah, exactly. And we've not seen that map yet, so that is still in the prize pack.
And one of the 2 chests, either here or in the sewers, has to be the small key to get through the door. And actually, there it is.
All right, so we have the map left, as well as 4 other items to obtain. Mageius falling right in behind Malinis there, getting that big key, and getting their small key there.
Chat also happy to point out that we are already 2/3 of our way to being able to access Aghanim.
Yeah. It's definitely scary to think of you need a sword and then you can go to Aga already, having that lamp that early on. Of course, we don't know what is in Lumberjack Cave or anything like that, so maybe it's a forced Aga instead of having to do a bunch of routing and then find out it's Aga.
Either way, Malinis has got Zelda through Hyrule Castle and will be making his way into the sewers shortly.
Not having to farm bombs again, so definitely pretty fast here with having that sword off the start.
We have a 5-bomb upgrade there.
Alright, we got 4 more chests to loot, one of them being the map. And finding this rat should be easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
The good part about the rat is it always starts in the same spot. It just, where it goes after that is random.
Alright. There's our map. We also got a piece of heart. And Fisher Price, my first shield.
Alright, so getting that map, they will have to loot the final chest in the sanctuary. So, starting out with the first sword and shield during escape. Is this even rando?
One would have to believe.
And just another bomb upgrade from Sanctuary.
Well, at this point, the world is Malinis' oyster. From here, anything can be anywhere, and it can take you anywhere depending on what the items you have.
Yeah, and with that lamp early, that makes those items in Eastern available up into the back half, of course. But having that lamp, everything's in logic there.
I think the seed knows about our problems with arrows because it put arrows in the tree pole.
Yeah, the bush crab dropping 8 bombs. So that'll be good information for later if you were to run out. Oh!
We got
Cane of Samaria.
Yeah, we got some cane action on the lumberjack ledge.
Yeah, Mageius opted to save and quit and go to Link's house, so he's just starting the southern route already. But now Malinis has a lot of information on him if that cane comes into play.
Yeah, so the cane would really only come into play if Mire or Turtle Rock are crystals. Or if the GT big key is on the right side.
Yeah, exactly. Mageius finding a blue ring there. And Malinis finding a glove.
We have a power glove. That means we also can get up to Death Mountain.
There is a lot of locations open thus far for these runners. Mageius getting a heart container and then probably going to head off to Mini Moldorm Cave.
Alright, so if I was Malinis, I would do something a little unconventional here. I would finish up Kakariko, and having the power glove and the lamp, I would head up to Death Mountain, and I would go for the portal that leads you to Hera, and I would immediately do a map check, because I need to know right now, do I need that cane?
Yeah, exactly. The more information you can get early on, the better, because then you'll know whether or not you need certain things to finish the game off.
Well, we also have Titan's Mitts and Blind's Hut.
That is a very nice oven mitt. That leaves us with a pearl away from Dark World access.
We got 2 pieces of heart, 3 pieces of heart in Mini Trolldorm Cave. We got a bottle of red goo and an ether medallion.
Well, depending on whether or not that cane is available or not, might have the medallion for those dungeons. Who knows? And now Mageius is going to do that route over to Kakariko.
Got Mo Money in the well. We also got Mo Money, Cane of Brian, and a 5-arrow upgrade.
Mageius skipping the Lumberjack Cave so far, so won't have that information just yet. And that's a pretty good deal from the bottle vendor, trading 100 rupees for 300.
It's that one time where the bottle vendor's right. You know what? I screw you guys out of cash so much during these races. For once, I'm gonna give you some money back.
And the Chicken Hut just having a heart piece, and we'll see what the rest of Kakariko has. Now, it would be the best if Zora couldn't screw you like that, but it's impossible to get more than 500 rupees from him. And a blue tunic. I suppose the only way Zora couldn't screw you is if Zora gave 300 as well as there being 300 on the ledge.
Is now a good time to mention a race where the one time Zora didn't screw me is where I fake flippered and went and didn't have to do AGA?
Hey, that was our race.
Yeah, I know.
Alright, that crab under the rock also giving 8 bombs, and Meiji is heading right up the mountain with having access to it. Malinis is going to opt towards doing that southern shore now.
Makes sense, it's still the standard route.
In these live or die situations, some more wild routing might be necessary to get the upper edge on your opponent, but you never know where anything is. So with having Titan's Mitt being available inside Kakariko, it kind of sucks on Mageius' end, but we'll get information up here on the mountain.
Yeah, now Mageius skipped Lumberjack Cave, so he does not know that the Cane of Samaria is on the Lumberjack Cave.
At least we'll get information on Spectacle Rock, potential Dark World map check, as well as inside Spectacle Rock here.
Alright, so we have 2 heart containers, one when you drain this drop, one on Spectacle Rock, and we got a Moon Pearl inside Spectacle Rock.
That Moon Pearl means AGA is not required for Dark World access. We still don't know whether or not we need Samaria for Turtle Rock or Meyer plays.
Malin is still electing to use bombs for Mini Trolldorm Cave, which gets it done pretty quickly. He'll get all that health and red goo here shortly.
Yeah, getting that double with the bomb is definitely a very nice thing. Not have to walk over there and attempt to slash them. It looks like Mageius is going to give us that map check, heading over this way.
Can't imagine what else it would be. He can't do Spike Cave yet. Oh, Meyer and Turtle Rock are both crystals. This is an Aga Seed.
Alright, if they had the Master Sword at this point in time, as well as if Mageius had that information on that cane, it would pretty much just do Aga now. Like, don't waste time and just do it. But yeah, right. Crystal 5 and 6 on Thieves Town and Ice Palace, and I saw a blue pendant on Swamp, as well as a red pendant on Pod.
That is correct. So now
many...
this...
Oh,
go ahead.
I was just going to say this so...
all I was going to say was we either need to find the cape or the Master Sword, and we are ready for Aga.
Right, exactly. That's what I was about to say myself, but I was going to say more so, there's so many item locations still open to find those items. And I totally missed where Mal got the bow.
I'd have to assume Ice Rod Cave. Because he...
Yeah, that would make sense.
Or Malinis is turning... Or, not Malinis. Our tracker, Nally, is telling us that was a misclick. No worries. We got 10 arrows, a piece of heart, and 10 arrow upgrade into Hospital's Closet.
Alright, and with with access to the back end here of Eastern, with that lamp, a lot of things to be held. Potential of getting 3 items. You're guaranteed at least 2 of them. So it'll be interesting. See what is held here.
And we're gonna, with having the lamp, we will find the big key in one of the 4 chests, which means we will be able to open the big chest, but without having the bow, we won't be able to get to beat the Armos Knights.
Yeah, exactly. And Mageius picking up their Cane of Brian, as well as a bunch of rubies, and then we'll probably trade in some money and get a load of it from the bottle vendor. And that now puts Zora into play. Three items to be held here within the Eastern Palace.
We already found one with the big 20. Compass is there.
Alright, so with finding the compass there, we will be doing the full route around. And a lot of enemies dropping bombs this time.
One thing we did not see earlier was Sick Kid, which was just an arrow upgrade.
I guess that's one thing that came into play with how Mageius routed, having that bottle before doing the Kakariko route. Also has Dark World access here and now, so can route in the Village of Outcasts at the same time.
That's exactly where Mageius is heading.
And looks like right into the Skull Woods here. 2 items to be had.
Mm-hmm. Now, because Titan's Mitts and Moon Pearl are Dark World access, the cape or the Master Sword could be in the Dark World, because you only need Aga to get the cane for Meyer and Turtle Rock.
Yeah, exactly. Mageius still not knowing about Samaria's location, though. So we'll see when he decides to route that in. And chat already getting extremely devious with the location of the boots to get that Samaria cane.
Well, there is chat for you. Mageius has to be careful. He's only got half a heart left. Got the map.
Yeah, Fighter Sword is definitely rough this time around.
Especially with that red one. There actually is a heart in that skull right by the fire bar if you pick it up.
Seems like a very dastardly place for a heart to be. You pick up a heart and lose a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Mageius, he's stunned. Right, just open the chest.
Yeah, that's all you need to do, Mageius.
Can't get the heart now. It's locked back there.
Exactly.
Alright. Opting to go to the southern room here to get up that extra key. Nope. Gonna go back up.
I think he's still looking for a heart. Because I was about to say, the reason why I know there's a heart there is because I suck at this game and I need as much health as I can get. Oh, and Mageius takes a death.
And it looks like Malinis is going to head up into the Dark World now, too. Or where are we routing? Death Mountain.
Yeah,
Okay.
he hasn't been to Death Mountain yet.
Yeah, we'll get information for himself up there. Alright, Mageius almost back to where he was. We'll see if they use the safety this time.
Yep, that's
and
what
they
he's
do.
doing.
And we haven't seen anything out of Skullwoods yet. Oh, that red beetle hurts. And there's a key. So that means one of the items is going to be locked behind the fire rod. At least one item. Oh, those cabbages hurt a lot on Malinis' side. Down to 1 heart.
But he gets up there, so he should be able to get this Moon Pearl no problem. And if he decides to go on, there are fairies once you fall down.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be able to get some life back. But at this point in time, with only getting Moon Pearl up here, your options are do a map check and save and quit.
And that is Dark World access for Malinis.
And this is where the blue boomerang comes in really handy on Mageius' side. Gibdo's being able to be frozen with that blue boomerang. And there's the big key, so they'll have to route that in and out as well.
Meanwhile, Malinis is going to be heading for the Dark World.
So we'll see Mageius routing in the big chest here. Whether or not it'll hold what we need, we don't know. But we're going to hope so with spending this much time in Skullwoods.
And Malinis finding out that that cane is in fact required. He is the one that did the lumberjack check. Mageius did not.
Oh, just a green rupee for all of Mageius' troubles here. So the second item will be held in the back end.
Now, instead of going for Skullwoods, Malinis is instead heading for Village of Outcasts. Got the means to finish Thieves Town, except for the hammer for the big chest, so...
Yeah, exactly. There's always a chance that that small key to access the big chest is locked within the big chest. So they can always hope for that, but if not, they may have to route that back in later on.
I believe it's also possible that the map or the compass could be in there as well.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of chances for it not to be required, so...
But, I mean, 8 hearts, blue mail, and a red safety. Malinis should have no problem getting through Thieves Town.
Yeah, I can agree with that. With it being a required dungeon anyways, pretty much I might as well tackle it kind of thing.
Is it possible that the big key is in the big chest? No. It has to be in one of the first 4 chests because you need it for the door to get into the back portion of Thieves Town.
Yeah, the only dungeons that the big key can be in the big chest are Skull Woods and Swamp, just due to the boss door not having a lock on it.
Right. The thing with both of those dungeons is there is no big key door, because the way the dungeons are laid out, the fire rod and the hook shot effectively block the boss from being accessible. So instead of having a big key door, it's you just need the weapon to get to. You just need that weapon to get to the area where the boss is.
Yeah, exactly. And in vanilla game, those items require the big key due to being inside the big chests of the respective dungeons, so. And it looks like the map and compass so far out of Thieves Town, so. The only hope now is that that key is inside that chest.
Correct. If we find that small key, there is something in that chest we may want to get.
I missed what item they got here out of the start.
It was
but
just a 5-arrow upgrade.
Okay, yeah. Out of the 4 chests there, the big key is guaranteed, just due to being, like, having to go through a big key door there. And then having that map and compass, we're down to only a couple things left to find. And here comes the Hellway. No boots, making it a slow walk. And these Patrick Stars are very unkind a lot of the times, but seeming to not bother him much.
Has no problem getting through, though.
We'll see if Mageius has the same luck here. At this point, if you're one of the runners, you're hoping you don't have to re-enter. And so far, not finding that key, so...
There are 2 spots left. There's the fake Maiden's chest, and then Blind himself.
I remember someone telling me that Blind is unable to have the key, but I'm not sure why that would be a case. But
because the logic has to assume that you can screw up the key logic. So the one key that you would use, actually, let me think about this. Because the one key that's in the hallway you use immediately in that hallway. The other one you use immediately in that hallway.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but we'll see here. And gets an item out of the chest, so...
Oh, okay. Hozu343 brings up the point. What the issue is in that spike room on top of the hellway. If you take that key and take it to the big chest, that's how you soft lock yourself.
Oh, that's understandable, 100%.
Because then you can't get up to the skylight to bomb it to be able to reveal Blind.
Yeah, makes sense there. So this time around, big chest not required. That small key is locked within it. And overall, not a lot of items here inside of Skullwoods, but we'll get one of those 5-6 crystals, so...
Yep. The question, doesn't the logic operate on the principle that things must not be possible, not that they must be possible? Yeah, the thing is that all seeds generated by the randomizer have to be completable. They can't on their own be a seed that just cannot be solved at all. It has to be solvable. So part of that logic has to be that it doesn't assume that you know how to run this game. It has to assume that you could screw up in every way possible. So you have to place the keys such that if you use the wrong key in the wrong place, you're not unable to complete the game. Malachris saying idiot proof is the term. See, now you're reminding me of the old Rocky and Bullwinkle sketch with Boris and Natasha where I thought you said it was foolproof. Foolproof, yes. Idiot proof, no.
Yeah, always the seed always going and making sure that if you're to use the keys in the absolute worst way, you'll still be able to complete it. And Stumpy not really giving us much this time around. Digging Game, not as well.
Both of them just having explosives.
And we'll see a hype cave. Place your bets right now, people. Is it hype or not?
You have 5 items in here. See what we got. NPC has a heart container, 50 bucks, the hammer, a piece of heart, and 5 bucks. So,
I give that like a 3, just due to having hammer.
But I mean, yeah, that hammer is pretty required.
Yeah. But if you're excited for Hype Cave, it's not too exciting. You just get an item out of it and move on. But we'll have access to the Northern Dark World here with that hammer, so we can get a pyramid check, as well as potential pod dive. Who knows?
You know what's funny is, well, I was about to say, in some ways the hammer had to be there because there was no other way to progress, but then I forgot. We still have a Genus Cave, which is often forgotten and usually useless.
Yeah, that is very true.
Mageius also pointing out that we could rescue Jeremiah at this point.
Yeah, Mageius actually, very nice play on his part, taking Jeremiah on this world tour here. And looks like Malinis is going to head up north and potentially do Catfish already. So Mageius, if Mageius does the same thing here, I gave him the upper hand on that part due to having to save and quit anyways from Catfish. And we'll most likely check Pyramid as well on the way by.
Yeah, Mageius doing Jeremiah a favor and giving him the world tour he usually doesn't get to see. Well, let's see what Catfish has for us today. Just 50 bucks. And both of our runners have enough money for Zora, so Malinis isn't even going to bother with it.
Yeah, not having Mirror, so it depends on when you want to route that in as well. Having Pearl, though, a Fake Flipper could come in handy here, having access to 2 more items.
someone in chat asking about the fact of why we call him Jeremiah the Bullfrog. It is in reference to the Jeremiah was a bullfrog. He is a good old friend of mine.
And we'll get to see our mad batter check here.
Just a piece of heart there.
Now, where would you think Malinis is going to route in next? Having Hammer now had already done this big route over to Catfish, not having that Smith.
Let's see. Malinis hasn't done Skullwoods yet, so that's a possibility. He could do Peg Cave and Jeremiah like Mageius is, well, at least doing Jeremiah. Honestly, at this point, if you're not going to Skullwoods, which that is what it looks like Malinis is doing, I would say Pod.
Yeah, Pod seems like a good play, depending on whether or not you get locked out. But they do have that red potion, which they could use the bottle glitch to do the right-hand side, if they know how to do it. It's a newer found glitch, where if you're holding left while walking through the hallway beneath the mimics on the right-hand side, the camera won't be like locked on the room, it'll be on you, and you can go over to the right-hand side, hold the wall, and push all the mimics over to the left, and whilst they're off screen, the door unlocks.
It was just allowed in the version 29 just in this tournament.
Now, where is Mageius off to next? Checking... Okay, so it hasn't done this little bit of Southern Light World. So checking the library as well as the race game. And taking that gamble, not checking the item first. But just 20 rupees.
Yep.
Alright, and Malinis is gonna go get their green rupee out of the big chest of Skullwoods, and then we'll be on their way elsewhere.
Admiral Reggie kind of agreeing with me about Pod or Dark Death Mountain, but the thing is, yeah, you don't have the hook shot. It's either the hook shot or the mirror. The mirror would get you to Hera, and then you can just hammer to East Side. The hook shot will also do it. So you either need the hammer or mirror in order to do the East Side of Death Mountain.
Now, I feel this is a Spike Cave play on Mageius' side with having the items to do it.
Certainly, it is in the logic.
And we'll see if this play is worth it or not. Hopefully, you're going to have enough magic here to get through. It'll be tight. Looks like they'll make it through.
Yep. And just a heart container.
Not even get to wait to see if it's sank hard or not. Just instant save and quit. And Malinis gonna rescue Jeremiah now.
And immediately nope to the light world.
Mageius potentially checking Lumberjack now. So at least they will have that information on the Canis Maria now.
Venus Cave was not checked.
Yeah, Aghanim is 100% required, but still requiring the cape or the Master Sword to even attempt it.
Steven XC asking, logic always assumes no damage is necessary, right? Nope, that has been changed in version 29. So, specifically for Spike Cave, I think it's 14 heart. It's either 13 or 14 hearts will get you through without having the Cane of Brian or the cape.
Now where's Mageius running? Just going the long way through the forest here. And then
imagine Malinis, this is probably got to be Peg Cave and Lunchbox.
Yeah, that would make sense. Lunchbox, will it hold anything good for us this time around? Who knows?
First, we're going to see what's in Peg Cave. Just another bomb upgrade.
Purple chest and then pod seems like the good play this time around.
Well, if Malinis is going to return the lunchbox to Gary, I'd probably, while I'm there, go do a Venus Cave also.
Very true. Not really holding much so far in this this version, I feel, but can always hold something you need.
Nexus voice asking, did either runner fake flipper in the start? No, neither runner has really done any sequence breaks. We got a fire shield in that lunchbox.
And it looks like we will get our Gina check here. And Mageius not too far behind, gonna go get the fire shield for themselves.
And mo money. So
right. Zora is still in play, so maybe that's
yeah,
gonna draw them closer.
It's either Zora or Pod at this point. They've checked everything else. You can't get into desert. You can't get into Hera. You can't get into swamp. You can't get into Ice Mire or Turtle Rock. Like, this is... It's Pod or Zora.
So at this point in time, I would feel a pod dive is more likely than Zora, just due to 5 items being potential. You never know if you're going to get locked out or not. But we also know how big of a scam artist the Zora is, so you never know just what he's offering yet.
I was looking away while Mageius was heading to a game escape, but chat is pointing out that we have ice rod on the desert ledge.
It's got to be a pretty cold rod to withstand the heat of the desert. And with an abundance of rupees so far this seed, Kiki the monkey only going to be taking 110 from us, and then we'll only need 500 more for Zora.
I mean, for us nicknaming him Kiki the Extortionist, he certainly only takes the same amount every single time.
Kiki knows exactly what he wants and takes just that.
All right, so we have a small key, so we're good there. If we didn't have a small key, we would be locked out of pod because we would need the bow to go to the bow lock portion.
Yeah, exactly. So having the key, definitely nice. Gonna be able to get a couple items out of the back.
Mageius has not done Eastern, so he is going to do that first.
Unfortunately, not going to be getting anything out of it. But we'll have it pretty much cleared for when they return with the bow.
Big key in its vanilla location.
And with the bow or the potion glitch, this is my favorite route through the dungeon. Normally you'd go through the portal if you're using potion glitch or bow, but it makes it so you don't have to mirror it all, and it's a very fast route through the dungeon. But we will not be seeing the potion glitch this time around, as well as we won't be seeing those items until we have bow.
Now, granted, we got lamps so early that there's really no way to know this, but Alan is forgetting that you need the red switch in order to get to the back portion. But we got the lamp so early, so we wouldn't know if either of these runners could do dark rooms. But so far, neither runner has really done any sort of sequence breaking.
Yeah, exactly. There has been no fake flipper or anything like that. They've just been following the logic for the most part. And there's the bow. We're no longer bow locked. That'll make for an easy, quick 2 dungeons.
Mm-hmm. Did we find all 3 items in Eastern?
I believe so.
Okay, so this cannot be the only progression we get.
Maybe we didn't. I don't remember what this last chest was. Mage is having a little bit of troubles with the damage boost there. It's the map, so I believe Armos Knights have an item.
Okay. Well, there's the hook shot.
Oh, hookshot. Very nice find. With finding that, pretty much finish this dungeon and head up the mountain, or do Eastern right afterwards.
Yeah, it'd be really nice if you had the mirror and could just mirror out a pod.
Yeah, exactly. It's at least not a master shot this time around.
Much like our race last night. Speaking of which, we should probably go over the pedestal hype index. Desert pendant. So you either need the book or you need flute or mirror, which you need the mirror for pendant swamp palace.
Yeah, so mirror is out of the question.
And the flippers. So for certain, mirror and flippers cannot be on the pedestal. And then it's either the book or either the flute cannot be on the pedestal because you need one or the other in order to get to Desert Palace.
Boots has a potential to be on pedestal. It depends on whether or not Desert is locked or not. Other than that, it's the medallions, I would think.
It can either be book or flute. It can be the medallions to get into Mire or Turtle Rock. We know Cane of Samaria is on the Lumberjack Ledge, and it could be the Fire Rod.
Yeah, alright. So, decent chunk of items that Ped could hold, and chat is probably very happy about that.
Hypebeard asking, are obtaining the pendants required in a randomizer? Nope. In randomizer, so there are different goals that you can set in the randomizer. This is the mode that we are playing in the spring tournament is standard mode, randomized swords. And the goal is to defeat Ganon, which means you just have to get the 7 crystals. You do not have to get the pendants unless it is a pedestal seed where a required item is on the pedestal. There are other modes in the randomizer. There is one where it's flipped and the mode is get the 3 pendants and pull the pedestal, and then the game immediately ends as you pull the pedestal.
As we get closer and closer to this hour in, both runners still only having 1 crystal to their name, but that's due to only having certain items to progress through the world.
So let me ask you something here. Malinis is electing to go ahead and finish Pod and beat Helmassar. I would guess this is because
I would assume it's an item, yeah.
Yeah, because Pod is a quick go mode that if it was a pedestal seed, I don't think I'd be going and taking care of Helmassar unless it was that an item was there.
Yeah, I wasn't counting the items on the way through, but I would assume it's just due to an item being here and not wanting to come back.
Yeah.
And Mageius picking up that bow for themselves will be able to do Eastern afterwards, as well as gonna get that hook shot out of the dark room. Yeah.
Since Hypebeard was asking about the requirement for pedestal, if you want an example of a pedestal seed, Cursed Aether and I commentated a race yesterday, Glentai versus Gonspore, that was in fact a pedestal seed. So if you want an example of a pedestal seed, I would definitely recommend go back and watch that VOD.
Alright, and now the troubles of Helmassar King without the silvers or a good sword. Moving around quite frequently makes it very hard to hit. But when you do get a couple shots in there, it feels really nice.
Alright, let's see what Helmassar is holding.
Oh my gosh.
What are those?
Those are some very fast shoes. So Malinis can be very happy about that pickup. And Mageius setting up a death warp here. So a pendant pod holding the bow, the hookshot, and the boots. That'll give us access to the Bonk Rocks, as well as King's Tome, as well as all of Eastern Death Mountain. Like, that is a lot of items to be held.
The seat, I mean, the seat is open up a little bit, but in terms of crystal dungeons, all it really does is open up Hera.
Yeah, that's very true, but it's still a ton of item locations with potential.
Now, we were talking about, you know, whether you need to beat Helmistar or not. The thing is, with knowing that the Cane of Samaria is on the pedestal, you need those boots, because you need the boots to bonk the Lumberjack tree after you beat Aga.
Yeah, that's very true.
So, for Mageius' sake, he needs to beat Helmistar as well.
And right up the mountain, Malinis goes. I believe there's 17 items up here on the mountain, if you include both Light World and Dark World, as well as the Hera items. Not including the tablet due to not having the book yet.
So there's 2 in Hera, there's 7 in Paradox Cave, so 9.
Yeah.
1 in Spike Cave, which is 10.
I forgot Spike Cave. Spiral Cave,
well,
yeah.
Spiral Cave was what I actually meant to say, so that gets you to 10. But you could also include Spike Cave, because I have a Hammer and Cane, so that's 11.
Yeah.
Plus Super Bunny and
18,
Hookshot, so
then.
17. Alright, we got Cape and...
Hey, look, both items we needed for Aga right there in the same room.
Oh, the seed knows what it's doing.
Alright. The Fire Rod?
Oh, man! Art container, fairy in a bottle, and at 20 bucks. Man, has this seed opened up.
Alright, so that's now access towards Skull Woods. With one item being left in there, as well as it being a crystal, it's easy to knock out.
And we have a tempered sword on the floating island.
I would assume both runners would pick that up. Unless they already had tempered, it might be just 2 out of the way for them, but definitely an easy pickup to grab.
Yeah,
but not having mirror yet.
Yeah, they can get to the Dark World side of that island, but without the mirror, they can't actually pick it up. And Malinis is going to head into Hera.
Yeah, Mageius is about to go to the Helmisar fight. I hate that turtle room with only having the hammer, just due to the hitbox on it. It might flip those turtles back over, and then they'll be enraged. And we're locked out. Not actually. Have the fire source, so gonna be able to do the basement. Not that anyone wants to.
I mean, hey, you're an hour in. You might, if you have to take a coffee break, now would be the perfect time. You got the fire source to brew the coffee. You just put a bomb there. Get on the. Oh, spoke too soon.
Yeah, bombs are a little harder to time with the tiles coming at you. Oh no. In probably the worst spot there, so now stuck behind, but tiles are almost done. And Mageius now having those boots as well, going to be able to run really fast.
All right, the big key is required to be here in order to get up the rest of Hera.
Remembering to hit the switch before going through the door. That's something I always forget.
Thing is as long as you're in the basement, if you as long as you don't go up, that room does not reset. So even if you were blocked out by having the switch, the door would just automatically open up and let you back over to get it.
Killing off all those beetles just in case you fall down. They won't respawn. And where is Mageius going to head off to next? Bonk Rock.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, other than Zora, Death Mountain is pretty much the only play the runners have.
Yeah, I can totally agree on that part.
Trolldorm is holding an item.
Alright, Moldorm with the Master Sword will take 3 spins to do. Hammer will also be 3 hits.
Oh, missed the, trying to run through the bumper there.
And Mageius about to get the prize pack at a Paradox Cave. And off into the Moldorm fight.
Trolliest troll there is in Zelda Randomizer.
3 nice spins here will do the trick. Otherwise, you'll end up enraging the Moldorm. And there it is. Very easy.
And just 10 arrows.
Mageius doing a nice bomb jump there in Paradox Cave to head up faster. And now I would assume we would do a Spiral Cave check here, as well as head on into the Dark World.
Having those boots will make Spiral Cave a piece of cake.
It always sucks to walk around the Spiral Cave. It takes just so long to go around. And of course it is only that one item that is located here. Just 3 bombs this time around. And we'll see if Mageius can set up the coffee break.
For a minute, he forgot that he's got to go down there and get it.
And now off into Super Bunny Cave. And we'll see what the prize pack here has, as well as a Hookshot Cave at the top. And might get to see what TR is going to require.
Mageius using an interesting strat where he's got the sword out, and is kind of dashing to keep the sword in place. We have red mail and swag in Super Bunny Cave.
Those are decent finds. Net for late game, you want to pick up an extra fairy just in case, and red mail just for extra defense could really come in handy.
All right, we're gonna see what Turtle Rock is here. It is Quake, so we don't have access to Turtle Rock just yet.
The pet dream is alive. We got 4 nice items here inside Hookshot Cave to obtain. And there's Quake.
Never mind!
3 bombs. A red rupee. And another red rupee. So overall, getting a progression item out of here, definitely nice.
Now there is that tempered sword on the floating island that these runners may or may not choose to come back for.
Yeah, I would assume when you come back to do TR, you would come back and grab that. Malinis going to do the hookshot. They're going to do Spike Cave now, whilst being up here, and then we'll see where they go next.
Now the only thing about Turtle Rock, what you were saying about the tempered sword is, the mirror may be in Turtle Rock.
That is very true. It is a very big possibility of that.
At this point, given what we have, Turtle Rock is accessible but not completable because we know the ice rod's on the desert ledge.
Yeah, exactly. And no access into the desert area yet. And Malin is going to make the play, heading off to do Aga.
Yep, both of these runners know that the Cane of Samaria is on the Lumberjack ledge. You need it from Meyer and Turtle Rock, so Malinis, now able to go kill Aga 1, is doing just that.
Yeah, exactly. Hour and 8 minutes in, heading up to Aga. And Mageius finishing off the Moldorm there. And we'll end up doing the Dark World route into Death Mountain as well.
Okay, so there still is that one item in Skullwoods. We said Armos Knights still have an item, so you got one item in both of those dungeons. And if we don't find progression in either of those, realistically, Turtle Rock is all that's available at this point.
Yeah, it's very true. With 5 items being inside Turtle Rock, as well as Mimic Cave having an item, quite a few things to be looking for.
You can't get to Mimic Cave without the mirror.
Very true, very true. I mean, at this point, it's almost worth it to do a faked flipper with having access to 3 of the items, depending on if they know how to do the fake flipper or not. But that's 3 more items knocked off the list, as well as information on 1 item that'll be there.
Yeah, because the thing is, the flippers, we only really need for Ice Palace.
Yeah, exactly.
And depending on what the medallion is for Misery Mire, All we really need to find at this point is the mirror and either the book or the flute, and we're in go mode.
Right, exactly. So at this point in time, Dream is slowly dying, only able to hold the flute or Bombos at this point in time. I guess Mushroom to lead into something, or the shovel to lead into it, but not really much left. And it looked like Mageius actually decided to skip out on Dark Death Mountain there and just go straight for the Ago play.
I mean, the only thing we really found there is Quake.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe he's thinking getting Samaria will head into TR right afterwards anyways.
Red Mail also. All right, how many blue balls do you think Aghanim's going to throw at our runners today?
5. I'm very mean. I'm sorry. Don't hate me, chat.
I'll say 3 then.
I mean, last night I was very rude to our runners, and I guessed 22 on the big key guessing game, and it ended up being 20, so came close. Maybe we'll get lucky and see no blue balls.
Well, we're at 0 right now. This is the last one before a required lightning strike, and there's a blue ball. You have required lightning here, required normal shot, and then 3 more after that.
Still no blue balls.
Well, just that 1. There's 2.
Oh.
There's 3. Four.
That is a lot of blue balls. We're in between our guesses at this point in time.
This one's going to be required to be a normal shot. Five. 6. All right. If you guess 6, you won. Too bad nobody in chat guessed 6.
No one was mean enough to guess that many. All right, now where are we going to be off to next? Having access to Finnish Skull Woods as well as Eastern, both holding an item still as well.
I would honestly, as soon as I get the cane, I'd head for the portal and finish Skullwoods, since we got the fire rod on Death Mountain.
Yeah, exactly. That is a good play to make. All the people guessing 6 after it's already done. I don't think that counts.
No, it doesn't. Malinis is the first one to get that cane.
And both our runners being very close to each other at this point in time. I believe with just the Dark Death Mountain separating the two of them.
And with us knowing that Quake is the only thing that's there, if Mageius holds that off until he goes to Turtle Rock, he's gonna be able to route that a little better than Malinis does, or did.
Overall, it doesn't save a whole ton of time, but when you're heading up to do TR anyways, it's just a couple checks.
Did they ever check Bumper Cave?
I don't believe so, but with having the cape now, might be worth it. And it looks like that's what Malinis is gonna do right now. But just a bomb upgrade.
Okay.
And with both runners having that Cane of Samaria, we'll see a couple quick dungeons here, I would assume. Definitely Skullwoods.
Yeah, these runners are pretty much in sync. Both of them have pretty much checked everything except for Mageius not checking Dark Death Mountain. So, you know, to what we were saying earlier, you've basically got you've got Skullwoods here, one item in the back portion. You've got an item on the Armos Knights in Eastern. And if neither of those things have anything, we can say once again, Zora may have something. Neither runner has checked Zora yet.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you got those two dungeons, and then I imagine Turtle Rock has to be the play next.
Yeah, exactly. You could always see the vanilla flippers, but to go up there and only have one item, if you're to do it in logic, not really a play you want to make.
That said, if it were vanilla flippers, that would open up Ice Palace.
Yeah, very true. And I would feel you'd want to do an Ice Palace clear before a TR clear. But you never know. I just feel doing a double dip into TR to find what you need to get that Ice Rod, not too pleasurable.
All right, Mageius is into Mothula.
Malinis getting a very nice full magic refill there.
Oh! Mageius had that fairy, though.
Yeah, very nice to have that fairy around. Using the hammer strats on Mothula, very risky due to the low hitbox.
Especially because he already had the one safety used up.
Yeah, exactly. But hammer does do tempered damage, so is worth it for a little bit. Oh, getting real close there.
There we go.
But does clench it. Very nice.
And we have a riot shield.
That'll make the laser bridge significantly easier.
So to your earlier point before Mageius dropped into Mothula, the thing is, the Steed may require this to be a double dip into Turtle Rock, because it's possible that the flute and or the means to get said Ice Rod by way of getting into Desert Palace could be locked in there, and the Seed may that will be a forced double dip if that's the case.
Right, exactly. It's never enjoyable to have that happen, but it is 100% possible. Looks like Mageius is going to make that play to the Dark Death Mountain area. We'll see if they do a TR dive or not. But Malinis is going to head over to Eastern and finish that up.
Now, the only problem is, with not having the mirror, Mageius will get the Quake Medallion, but he'd have to save and quit before he could actually open Turtle Rock.
Well, it looks like he's heading up. Oh, maybe rethinking it. Going to a shop? Overall, if you're to route Dark Death Mountain from above, like if you open up TR first, then he will not have to save and quit at all.
But he can't. He doesn't have the Quake Medallion.
Oh, I guess, yeah, you can check what it is. That's me thinking wrong about it, but you are correct.
No big deal. Believe me, I screw up logic all the time.
Alright, pulling out that hammer, so we'll be doing the check here on TR. And then we'll most likely see them do the hookshot cave. Malinis heading into the back half of the Eastern Palace here with that bow. Gonna finish up the Armos Knights in the near future. Mageius getting that Quake Medallion, so we'll be able to do TR now, but we'll have to save and quit in order to access it.
See where he heads next. Malinis will be into the Armos Knights momentarily.
And it looks like Mageius is just going to head right back to TR.
Makes sense. If he was already committed to seeing what was in Dark Death Mountain, imagine he would have keep going since he now knows he can get in. And Mageius is the one that saw that the ice rod is on the desert ledge, so he knows where the ice rod is, and if he goes into Turtle Rock, he will have to double dip it.
Yeah, with 5 items being within TR, though, definitely a good play to make, depending on what the Armos Knights have here. But just a heart container.
Chad also pointing out, Mageius did not do Super Bunny Cave. And with only finding a heart container in Eastern, Turtle Rock is the play, but I will yet again point out, neither of these runners have been to Zora.
Yeah, exactly. Flipper's still on the table somewhere as well, so I would assume that's what's keeping them away. As well as just having so many options available. And it looks like Malinis is going to do the same play here.
Mm-hmm.
So guaranteed double dip here. We'll see if it pays off.
Mageius gonna do Super Bunny Cave first, and then probably head back and do Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that's an understandable play there.
Malinis getting dead rocked. I saw Mageius get dead rocked as well when he was making his initial climb.
So this comes into play with that tempered sword, with what you were mentioning earlier. Not having the mirror to obtain it before TR now. So we'll see if they decide to pick it up afterwards or not.
What would be interesting, if we don't find a sword upgrade and don't find silver arrows, you essentially know where a sword upgrade is if that's where you are heading into Ganon's tower. And would either of the runners go ahead and pick it up to do at least Tempered Sword silverless as opposed to Master Sword silverless?
I would assume so, just due to it being pretty much on the way to Ganon's tower anyways.
All right, we got 50 bucks, so we would have been locked by the fire rod, but we found that on the light side of Death Mountain, so no worries there.
So that is one of the 5 items locked here within TR. And it's always nice having hookshot for this, so you can do the room in the fastest way possible. And 2 small keys out of the roller room. Melon is doing a nice Route of Burn and Dash, one of my favorite in the game.
All right, so someone in chat was asking, are flippers in the middle of logic chain or are they at the end? Because so the way that the randomizer works is it sets it basically sets the dungeons first. It places the prizes for the bosses, and then from there it basically goes through the regions based on what the prizes are, sets up the dungeons, and then from there, whatever advancement items it has left, it will then place the advancement items. So it does progression last based on where the items are.
Mageius actually took a death in that chain chomp room. Very unfortunate on that part, not having a fairy to withstand the blow. Has powder though, so can get this anti-fairy.
Electing not to though. Of course, you have 4 right there in the room here.
Yeah, very true.
Okay, so we haven't found the big key yet. So the big key has to be in its vanilla location. So you're gonna see Malinis burn that key to get it. Yep.
I mean, even with having the big key already, you would still burn a key just to check that, due to not having the items you need to beat the game.
Yeah, it's true. You really would just bypass that chest if you're in go mode.
Pokey giving Mageius a little bit of troubles, but ending up killing him, getting the key, and then we'll pick up that big key.
Alan is selecting not to use Fire Rod strats and just use Master Sword spins on these Pokies.
Yeah, having about 2 shots left on that Fire Rod currently would be just enough to finish this room off.
Yeah. Again, since we don't have the mirror yet, we can't do Mimic Cave. AJ's gonna do the same thing with the same amount of magic left. Although he gets 1 Pokey down. Oh, and there's the flippers.
Alright, that can come into a very big play here. That's full access to not 2 dungeons, 1 dungeon, Ice Palace. Still needing Mirror to even attempt a swamp dive, but with it being a pendant, you don't really want to attempt it until you have to.
Yeah, I mean, basically at this point, having found those flippers, Well, no, forget what I said. We're still in the same boat we pretty much were earlier. We need to find the mirror for swamp, and then we either need the flute or the book for desert.
With 4 chests being left on the laser eye bridge, one of them being a key, and one of them being the compass. Either that or Trinix having one of those items as well.
So I know I was saying earlier about vanilla flippers. So the only other way this is not a required double dip into Turtle Rock is if Zora has the book. Because that's the only one item that can get you into desert to get the or the mirror's right there.
Now, if the flute's in here too, that would be amazing.
Alright, well that chest has to be a small key, so... Survey
Trinix is going to have an item.
Yes. Which means he can't have the... Well, okay, he could have the flute if the book is how you're meant to get to Desert Palace.
And now we get a very nice Mimic Cave check here, due to not activating that safety door or anything like that. Being able to just mirror right to it.
Mageius taking a death, but had picked up some of those fairies from the Pokey room. So he's fine. But just gonna get that small key here. And just a piece of heart in the Mimic Cave. Alright, so Ice and Swamp are on the table. Swamp is a pendant dungeon, though.
Yeah, I would feel you'd want to make the play for Ice first. Or potential do the Zora era check. There are 4 items available up there.
We'll see the way Malinis is routing this. We'll see where he heads first. Just a piece of heart on the Lake Hylia Island, and that is a play for Hobo. Mageius also doing a Mimic Cave. As we see Malinis go to Hobo. And there's a sword upgrade on the Hobo. So now Butter is at the floating island.
So now it really depends on if you feel the time save in Ganon's tower / the Ganon fight would be worth going and getting the Butter Sword or not. Which I feel Tempered is good enough, so to go back through there and wait for 2 bombs to explode would be quite a time sink.
Yeah. I have to think about this for a sec, because the thing is, let's see what we have here. Triple bombs and a heart container. Yeah, because there really is no easy way to route it. And as much as Butter Sword is the best sword, it doesn't provide that much of a power boost as opposed to Tempered Sword. We have a blue goo bottle in the Zora ledge, and Mageius isn't going to bother a Zora. He's going right for Ice Palace.
I mean, that could be just water. There's a lot of it in this area.
That is true.
And will we get scammed this time around?
Nope, 300 bucks.
Not quite. He still took 200, but I think that's best case scenario.
Well, you just have to look at it this way. You got 300 bucks back from Zora. A blue potion is 160 at the magic stop. So really, you're paying $500 for $460 worth of value. I don't feel gypped at all with that.
Yeah, Bottle Vendor ended up giving 300 as well. So I guess technically we made money in a way.
Wait, did Mageius? Mageius went back. I thought Mageius was going right for Ice Palace. Oh, chat pointing out he had no magic, so he couldn't use the fire rod to get into the Ice Palace itself.
Ah, gotcha. So Malinis now making that play here in ice. 3 items to be had. As well as completing this will give us access to that Pyramid Fairy.
So that explains why Mageius threw a bottle into the Waterfall of Wishing, hoping he would get a blue potion. But the thing is, there's going to be one on the Zora ledge, so he's going to pick that up and drink it immediately to get his magic back.
And one of those Pengators dropping a full magic for Malinis, so just definitely funny on that sense to have free magic available.
It was like last night. Both of us, Chris Aether and I commentated 2 races together yesterday. Both of them came down to the fact that one of the runners ran out of arrows either in the red mimics right before the gauntlet or Ganon himself. And the one where it was the red mimics, the other runner just kept getting arrow drop after arrow drop as that runner was ascending the gauntlet. And we're just like, why you keep giving the arrows to the other runner?
Barely missing the quick kill on the Stalfos there. And Mageius now following in behind Malinis here in the Ice Palace.
Okay, so at this point, if Ice Palace doesn't have anything, Swamp Palace really is all that's left.
Yeah, I can definitely agree on that part. There isn't any overworld locations that I can think of that would be left. Everything else has been very cleared out.
Yep. Essentially, we're a flute away from go mode, because even if we find the book for Desert Palace, we still need the flute to get to Mire.
I mean, it could be the biggest troll in sense of that could still be a flute on the pedestal. I'm sure Chad is excited that that is still a thing.
Oh, we have the compass there to start.
Telegor, that scenario would be actually impossible due to needing either the flute or the book to access desert to get that green pendant.
Yeah, if the flute is... If you need the pedestal for the flute, realistically, it's... you'd have to be hoping the fetch quest items would be the mushroom and the shovel.
It's a very nice location for the big key, right before the big chest.
Absolutely.
But just a big 20 inside.
Someone in chat said pedestal mushroom to shovel to flute. In a weird sort of way, it would you kind of almost make sense for it to be the reverse, where you get master shovel, you dig up a mushroom in the haunted grove, and that gets you the flute.
Yeah, that one would make sense logically, where you're actually digging up a mushroom out of the ground, and then someone just really wanted a mushroom and had no way of paying you for it, so they decided to give you some fancy music device.
All right. So Cold Stare is going to have an item.
Very nice use of the hookshot there to dodge the fire bar. And off into the Cold Stare fight we go. Only having Fire Rod and normal magic, so we'll have to use this full magic bar just to beat the boss here. Or I should say, finish the first phase.
Yep. Malinis does manage to get Cold Stare in a corner, but the puffballs do manage to escape. Malinis already has one down. There's 2 and 3. And just a 10 bomb upgrade. So Swamp Palace is really all... Well, okay, no, we did find Mirror. So there is Graveyard Ledge south of Grove.
Yeah, that's very true.
Other than those 2 locations, pretty much a Swamp Palace is all that's left.
At this point in time, I don't know where you'd want to route in first. I'd almost think you'd want to do the overworld locations before diving into a dungeon, but with 6 items being within it, it might be might as well just get out of the way kind of thing.
Yeah, I would be doing what Malinis is doing. I mean, the way this seed is kind of set up, it's been kind of linear. And so at this point, realistically, if one of these runners hasn't seen the other runner finish, knowing that you've checked everything that is possible to be checked at this point, you know, I mean, you never feel really good as you're running, but still, like, the way this seed is set up, it's not like you've missed an obvious thing. The seed has just kind of been linear.
Yeah, exactly. It's giving you the items you need to progress. One by one kind of thing, other than like that Paradox Cave, getting a decent chunk. Just 3 bombs there in the cave south of the Grove. And Mageius skipping out on that hobo, only having the Master Sword here for the Cold Stare fight.
Yeah, he did Waterfall Wishing and Zora, but didn't do Hobo. And we now see Malinis heading for Swamp Palace.
Six items to be had here in the Swamp Palace. We'll see just what it holds for us. I would expect it to have some sort of progression at least. Either that or we're looking towards Pedestal.
Alright, Mageius has Ice Palace done. Alright, map starting Swamp.
The Pyramid Fairy is on the table right now. So it'll be interesting to see if like Mageius decides to route that in before doing the Swamp Palace or not. But we'll go up to the Hobo.
Yeah, so he will get that Tempered Sword.
Why would you take the Hot Cheeto from the Hobo? He needs some food.
Look, I got a world to save. You just gotta sit on your butt underneath a bridge.
I suppose. Link's probably a little bit hungry, at least. Offers the Hot Cheeto in a jar, too, so at least it's kept fresh.
There's a big key, so really quick, just go check the big chest here. Malinis will do that. Just 5-arrow upgrade.
Yeah, we're guaranteed to have at least one item on the left-hand side due to finding that map so early on. So, it looks like we're going to opt into just going for it now.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's only 4 dungeon items here in Swamp Palace. The 1 small key to open the front door, and then the 3 main items. So having found 2 of them, one of the chests on the left side is required to be an item. So the way this worked, way this worked out, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
This was a required double dip into Turtle Rock.
Yeah, 100%.
The flippers led to nothing in terms of progression, and realistically, that means well, the truth of the matter is the flippers led you into Swamp. So if it's in Swamp, it's the combination of the flippers and the mirror led you to the next progression, which would mean that you needed to go into Turtle Rock to get both of those before getting the ice rod.
Yeah, exactly. The only way it wouldn't be a double dip into TR is if you were to fake flipper into ice, and the Pyramid Fairy would hold your flute.
But so far, nothing doing in Swamp Palace. So pretty much if Swamp Palace is a bust, it's either Fat Fairy or Graveyard Ledge.
Not many locations left. Mageius finishing off the Armos Knights and getting another crystal to their name, and we'll see if they decide to do a couple locations before attempting Swamp Palace or not.
All right, we got half magic and the compass. So Argus will also have an item.
Just the red rupee.
All right. Here we go with the Argus fight. Mageius is going to do Fat Fairy first.
Yeah, making that gamble for the Pyramid Fairy. 2 items to be had. If Argus doesn't have Flute, it's either Pedestal or it is going to be here at the Pyramid Fairy.
All right, moment of truth. Just a big 20. All right, Pyramid Fairy or Graveyard Ledge, what is it?
Yeah, the book will be at one of these locations, or it'll be the Flute.
We got a piece of heart and a green rupee.
Oh.
All right, Graveyard Ledge has to have something. If it's Flute, it's go mode. If it's book, we go to desert.
Yeah, Dr. T-Mac, Flute on Trinex in play. It can be so long as book is obtainable. So where are our runners gonna route in next? Looks like Malinis might be heading up to do that Graveyard Ledge here.
Mageius, meanwhile, is heading for Swamp. This is not gonna work out well for well, unless this is a pedestal seed with the Flute on the pedestal.
Yeah, and of course, us not having that book, we will never be able to find out.
If this is book, we'll be able to see. If it's Flute, it's go mode.
Yeah, exactly.
If this is book, do you check pedestal before going to desert?
I would 100% check pedestal first. That way you know if you have to beat desert or not. But then you also have to make that gamble. Trinex has an item. Do you pick up the Ice Rod and Dip, or do you just finish it?
All right. Here we go. This has to be either the book or the Flute. Verdict is, it's the Flute.
The ped is dead, everyone.
1 hour, 54 minutes, 25 seconds. Malinis officially enters go mode.
An Ice Rod on that desert ledge, but we'll be able to pick that up when they go to Mire.
Chad also bringing up a good point. Misery Mire could also be Bombos.
That is very true.
But we'll deal with that in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor Hyrule, please join us for the playing of the national Swag Duck Anthem. And the J is away. Sorry, I cut you off there. We had important business to do.
That's perfectly okay. We have ourselves our swag duck. We can access the mire area. Lots of items to be had here, although we don't necessarily need any of them.
All right, moment of truth. It's Quake. We are in go mode.
Still interesting to see Malinis open up a few extra chests here, knowing where I guess Malinis actually doesn't know. Malinis never checked the ledge.
No, he didn't.
Oh, that's interesting. That'll give Mageius a little bit of time to catch up here whilst clearing out Swamp.
Well, there was bombos anyway.
I mean, overall, have pretty much full cleared this entire seed, so not many locations that would have been left.
All right, we'll see what Malinis... Okay, Malinis is going to check first. Is he going to go south? He is. He's going to get that ice rod. He knows he's in go mode at this point.
Alright, just gotta finish off Misery Mire and then go kill Trinex, and we'll be on our way up to Ganon's Tower. Yeah, I would think you'd still check some chests as well, not having silvers, so at this point in time, we'd have to do silverless. So it depends on whether these runners know silverless or not.
I mean, we're kind of back to that question. Now, Phase 4 Ganon is 12 sword spins regardless of whether it's tempered or buttered. Butter Sword only helps you in Phase 1 and 2 where it's 6 slashes as opposed to 12. So we're back to that question. We know the floating island has the other sword upgrade. Neither runner could get it because they didn't have the mirror at that time when they checked Hookshot Cave. So, do you go back for that sword upgrade if you don't have the silver arrows?
I don't know. It would make the first little bit of the fight faster. And I would feel if you're not comfortable with silverless, you'd want to, at least if you think you're gonna fall, kind of thing, you'd make it faster to reattempt. So
you know what we also could be setting up for again?
Arrows?
For arrows. For those there's the book.
Yeah. Depending on how they do the Vitreous fight here, this is what put Glenn yesterday in a very unfortunate situation. Not having silvers for the Vitreous fight, ended up using literally all of his arrows.
Yeah, for those that may have just joined us, so Cursed Aether and I commentated 2 races together yesterday, and both of them came down to one runner not having enough arrows for either Ganon's Tower or Ganon himself. And if Malinis elects to do arrow strats for Vitreous, and Mageius only has 11 arrows right now, we could be setting up again for not having enough arrows to finish the game.
And if that's the case, then we are cursed to commentate together. Because it just seems to be a reoccurring thing at this point.
I think we can officially say that if you and I commentate together, arrows are going to be a thing.
Having a decent go mode here in Mire too, so off to Vitreous we go. And Mageius just gonna have to go check that graveyard ledge.
Alright. Malinis gonna use cape strats. Having that half magic makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes it a lot easier of a fight too. And will keep a hefty amount of arrows.
Eight arrows to the eyeball, and down goes Vitreous for Malinis. It's a mushroom! Oh, there are the two. Well, there are the two items in Mire.
So, would you check the tablets and mushroom before heading up to Ganon's tower, or just kind of go for it?
Well, I suck at this game. I would probably, since neither runner has made a potion run at this point, I would at least, since I would be going to pick up potions for Trinex and for the Gauntlet, I would probably do Mushroom while I'm there.
Yeah, that's understandable. Malinis is going to opt out of it, though, heading right to TR.
We will also see if he decides to pick up that Butter Sword on the way.
Yeah, Malinis does still have a red and blue potion, so probably feels decently comfortable.
Mageius never checked Bumper Cave, so he's doing that now. It's only Season 5 bomb upgrade there. Alright, so, for those of you that may be new, there's a game that we like to play that we're not starting now. If you'd like to play that game that we're not starting now, you need to either have subscribed to one of our 5 speed gaming channels or have donated 250 bits to one of those speed gaming channels. If you have done so, you will have access to the leaderboard to the game that we are not starting now.
I like how you say not starting now like 7 times due to last night's problem, where everyone guessed first and then was like, oh wait, it's not started. But yeah, being a supporter of the channel will get you a chance of being on that leaderboard later on. But don't fear, you can always play off the honor game. You can still guess even with your not being a supporter. And I'll see if I can go through the large amount of messages later to see if anyone has guessed it properly.
But seriously, if you're not a subscriber or a supporter of the Speed Gaming channels, we would really appreciate you doing so, as well as giving a follow to both of our runners, both Malinis and Mageius. They have put on quite the show for us so far, and they both deserve your follows on Twitch here.
Yeah, doing all they can in the seed that's running them in circles. Looks like Mageius is gonna get some potions here before heading off to Mire. Malinis making actually really quick work of TR. Maybe just gonna head right on inside of Meyer now.
All right, here we go. Malinis is gonna head into Trinex. All right, red head down.
Unfortunately, getting some ice on the floor, but it shouldn't be too bad.
All right, into phase 2.
And with a nice Trinex fight, everyone can now start getting in their guesses here for that Ganon Tower Big Key guessing game. And oh my god, the silver arrows! What?
Oh, it's Trinex.
Oh my goodness.
All right, unfortunately, Cursed Aether, you were a little preemptive because I still have to do the spiel. There are 22 locations where that Ganon's Tower Big Key can be. If you want to get in this game, you need to put in a guess between 1 and 22 where you think that key is. Cursed Aether, your guess.
Well, it depends here. Do I go with my normal 7 or do I be cruel again? I'm actually gonna go with 14 this time. We'll double my number.
All right. No, I can't do that. I was gonna say because of being a Cavs fan and actually being from Akron, I was gonna say LeBron's number 23, but well, I can't do that because there's only 22.
Unless it's an impossible seed where the big key is locked inside that big chest. It looks like Malinis is going to pick up that butter sword.
You know what? Since the Cavs won the title in 2016, I will go 16.
Alright, we'll see where it ends up being.
Guesses will close once Malinis enters the door. And guessing is officially closed.
Alright, may the odds be ever in your favor, everyone.
Malinis is going to do right side first. Number 1. $100, number 2. Shovel. No key, you have to go right, or left, sorry. Number 3, small key.
Oh, here's a gamble.
He's gonna go right now that he has that key.
And Mageius done with Misery Meyer. Gonna be able to head up to TR now. We'll have chests 4 through 7 coming up right away.
All right, number 4. Piece of heart 5. Map 6. Piece of heart 7. $300. It's not tile room, it's on the left side. Oh, that's something new I hadn't seen. walk along that tiny ledge and you can bypass the star switch.
Very interesting to see that. I've never actually seen that myself. Chests 8 to 11 are going to be in the next room here.
All right, 8. $20, 9. Arrow of Destiny. 10. $5, 11. $20. $12. Red potion.
That'll be nice for later.
That's 100% items for Malinis.
Yeah, just missing a few hearts. In which their locations are very clear to us where they are. Desert Palace has a couple, as well as the last few items here inside of Ganon's Tower.
Speaking of which, 13. Small key.
It's time for the Rando Room.
All right, 14, $50, 15, $20, 16, 5 arrow upgrade, 17, piece of heart.
Getting closer and closer to that 22. Not getting the bonk, but it's not that long a trip to just use the portals here.
All right, Bob's chest, 18.
Unfortunately, Bob has already died. But there it is.
All right. The correct answer was 18. The closest guess from a sub supporter was 16 for me. Wow.
Wow. I feel this was rigged.
Believe me, I had no way of knowing.
Overall, a very close guess on your half. And Malinis now heading up the tower. Mageius in that Trinex fight right before Ganon's tower now.
Alright, from here it's all execution for Malinis. No more randomization, no more trying to find stuff. You got Butter Sword, you got Silver Arrows, you got Red Mail. From here on out, it is pure execution.
Yeah, we had a couple non-supporters that were actually one guess away. One had 17 and one also had 19 as a guess.
Now, this is Price is Right rules, so it's closest without going over.
And that is all the crystals on Mageius' side. Gonna head into Ganon's tower now. We'll see if they decide to pick up that Butter Sword along the way.
Malinis did choose to. Mageius is not.
Overall, it's not that large of a time save to get it. I would actually think that waiting for the 2 bombs to explode, as well as mirroring, would actually take more time than the Ganon fight. Maybe just gonna check those 2 items on the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
And off into land molas too. Mageius only down to 8 arrows left here. Hopefully they pick some up during the climb.
Now we may be safe here because Malinis has the lead already. And so
yeah, in both cases, it's been the person in the lead doesn't have arrows, so this is the opposite effect right now.
Yes, we can't be blamed for a runner losing if they were already behind in the process.
And Mageius gonna save a little bit of time, not doing that gamble on right side. Onto the torch room now for Malinis. Or at least one of the torch rooms. This one, if you were to climb the stairs before, or I should say, at the same time as those torches going out, you would actually glitch the tower and make it so that none of the enemies would spawn, including Moldorm. Whereas with these torches, if you were to blow up the wall in the next room here, when they go out, the wall wouldn't explode. The door would be there, but the texture won't change. Like, you would be able to walk through the wall, technically. But no glitches this time around. And with nothing left to obtain but hearts, it's open the least amount of things as possible.
It's time for Trolldorm 2.
Oh!
Trolldorm strikes again.
Mageius making sure to pick up a 10 arrow drop there. Must know about our curse. Oh no! No!
He was getting the hook shot out, missed his sword spin, and gets trolled again. Alright, third time.
No! Malinis is doing everything to let Mageius catch up at this point in time. Arrows are not the troll.
That today is done by Trolldorm staying true to his name. Oh, we almost had a fourth. Alright, Mageius has the big key. There we go.
There we go. Malinis gonna be heading off to that Aga 2 fight. Mageius starting the climb. And just 20 rupees for the final chest of the game. And a very nice dash there from Malinis.
Yep. Now, Malinis will be on to Aga 2. Nice double there. There's another one. I think that's 5.
Yep, and there's number 6.
All right, time for Ganon.
Alright, should be an easy fight ahead of us. Having every item in the game can use many different methods here for Ganon, having Cape available as well. And Butter Sword will make this a very quick fight.
And as we mentioned earlier, you got half magic, you got a blue and a red potion. This should be quick.
Ganon complaining about midnight snacks, even though there's a light in the fridge.
I mean, he is a big pig.
Yeah.
Malinis already into phase 2.
Mageius going into that Landmills 2 fight. Nearly getting that 1 cycle there for Mageius. And phase 3 here for Malinis. Oh, that was really close.
I'm gonna go ahead and drink the red potion here.
Yeah, definitely a nice safety there, having that red potion still.
He did in fact find the arrows in Turtle Rock. Only
Getting
one. One shot missed the torch glitch.
Oh, can set up a double here if he's quick enough, but we'll just go for that single. Oh, torches. Alright, should get another single in here, and then we'll be 1 shot away.
That's 3.
Oh, and the torches again. Alright, 1 more hit.
Alright, this should do it. That's game.
And he does it. GG Malinis. Defeating the pig, bacon is served.
But more importantly, we're not cursed!
Hey, that's true. He's lots of arrows left. Until next time, that is.
Either way, Malinis finishes with an official SRTV time of 2 hours, 23 minutes, and 29 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat.
Very excellent race by both runners, having to pretty much full clear this entire game. Mageius not actually all that far behind either. And it looks like we will be joined by Malinis here for an interview.
And joining us in chat is Malinis. GG.
GG's. That was some seed.
That was fantastic. Pedestal playing with our heartstrings until the very end.
Yeah. I was neck and neck, and if I was gonna go and check the graveyard ledge before going into Swamp Palace, and I felt so behind when I got up there, found the flute.
Yeah, luckily both of you actually did the same thing and checked Swamp before doing Graveyard Ledge.
Oh, okay. So how far? I haven't checked how far is.
Mageius isn't too far behind you. Okay. He's actually in Aga 2 right now. I just beat Aga 2.
Oh, that's close to now. I thought he was going to be way before me when I got that far.
Yeah, and what ended up happening was, as you were on your way to the Graveyard Ledge, Mageius was on his way into Swamp Palace.
Okay. So, did he? Where did he fall behind then? Because I felt like I was behind across half the race, because I was going checking the one-off locations from all the way up from Aginas to catfish and everything before I found progression all the time.
Overall, I feel it was just the execution in certain things that gave the lead over to your half. Because you both routed decently similar throughout the entire race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels good to actually be able to pull out one off when actually everything works and not dying on everything, because I usually end up having to do Fighter Sword Mothula with just normal magic and low hearts. It felt good to just be safe on every boss.
Yeah, definitely. So now going 2-2, your hopes and dreams are still alive for a little bit. What were your expectations from the tournament so far?
The expectations was just to win one race to start with, because me and some friends started just doing the speedrunning like half a year ago, just to have something to do. And so everyone just joined up for the tournament and said we're gonna win one race. So now we're on 2 races, and hopefully gonna try and win more and try and make it to the brackets and see if we can get anything going there.
You certainly have you're on your way there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, it was a fantastic race from both of you there. You not checking that desert ledge for the longest time. How did you feel when you found the ice rod?
I was thinking like this because I did not have access to it until after I had the mirror and the flute anyway, so wasn't really bothering me that much. And then I just realized when I was going into Mystery Mire that there's the spot on the ledge. I don't want to go into Desert Palace, but I should check that ledge, and it was just a lucky guess, I guess, there.
Yeah, makes sense. Mageius has finished with an official SRTV time of 2 hours, 27 minutes, and 29 seconds. Spam those GGs in chat for Mageius, who is now joining us in chat.
Yeah, GG Mageius.
Thanks. Hold on a minute.
GG's.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
Overall, a very close race there.
I kind of figured. When did he take the lead?
Don't really know. I think it was just
overall
lucky
just a
routing.
little bit of execution and routing, but it was decently similar throughout the entire run.
I mean, you guys all did pretty much all of the same checks. I'm trying to rack my brain trying to go back towards how this race unfolded, and I can't really think of one time where it was like, oh, that puts one runner ahead over the other. The only thing realistically was Malinis went into Swamp Palace first, and then as he was going to the graveyard ledge to get the flute, that was when Mageius, you were heading into Swamp Palace. And so that was really the only definitive point where it was like, okay, there's a definitive like who's in the lead and who isn't.
So very end. GG, man, on that one.
Yeah, GG. It was really good, and it was a little bit of breadcrumb race. I feel like it was. You had to go through everything to find something. It felt like all the time.
Did you get boots?
Yeah. Did you double dip to get the boots, or yeah, you had? I
cleared it the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, I did that as well, because that I felt usually when you get that good amount of items before in a crystal pod, feels like I should just get out of here and continue doing stuff. But I felt like, okay, I'm gonna gamble on this useful item on Helmasaur as well.
It was actually pendant.
Yeah, so felt like, should I really finish this seed? Finish this dungeon?
Yeah, I know what you mean. We still both have a chance in the tournament. It's just basically, I'm gonna have to skin it, skin my teeth if I recall. But good luck on you, man.
Yeah, good luck on you too, and GG's.
All right.
Same.
And now, Mageius, you going 1-3. Your tournament dreams are not dead yet. There's still a lot of weeks ahead, a lot of practice to be had, a lot of people to verse. Are you excited for any of that at all, or?
I am, actually. I am. I know basically my execution could be better, but that's because I'm on an emulator and I normally run on console for NMG, so hit or miss on that one. It basically just... I guarantee you after this, I'm basically going to go enter the NMG Weekly and hope the heck I can smash a new PB on that one.
Understandable.
Yeah.
With this seed being so linear, you guys getting an excellent time in for both of you. Very close race. I want to thank you guys again for letting us commentate over you, as well as being restreamed here.
Yeah, and thank you for restreaming us, and thank you, Nolly, for doing the tracking as well.
Yeah, extremely thanks to all three of you on that one. I guess I'll fast forward in case the people want to see the stats.
It's fine. While you do that, I will go over our schedule that we have remaining for today. On Speed Gaming 2, we have Bacon versus Codis. That started earlier at the top of the hour, or the top of the 2 o'clock hour Eastern time. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to have 2 races. Kern versus SeaTac 2 on ALTTP Randomizer 3. Duran versus Nakachu on Speed Gaming 3. Wait, we're on 5. 3 was last night. On Speed Gaming 3. Then we have a match at 4 with Pith 13 and Hazu Kitty on right here on Speed Gaming 5. And then at 7 p.m. we have 2 races: Jeremy Trammer versus Pokedude 14 on Speed Gaming 3, and Ganon's Gone Wild versus Solidus on Speed Gaming 4. So still have plenty of randomizer action today, and then that will wrap up week 4 of the Swiss stage, and we'll start week 5 tomorrow. So Cursed Aether, any final thoughts?
Just hit these runners up with a follow. They put on a fantastic show as well. There's all of us behind the scenes. Our links are all there if you want to help support us as well. Other than that, follow the Speed Gaming 1 through 6, as well as the LTTP Randomizer 1 through 4. Tons of rando going on. Lots of participants in this tournament. So if you want to see more rando, you know where to look.
And with that, we are going to wrap up shop here. And I have been Jex Reffy.
I am Cursed Aether.
It was a pleasure commentating with you again. That's been 3 races we've commentated together this weekend. It certainly has been a pleasure.
Yeah,
You two better develop a good rapport, because I think you're going to be together for a while.
Well, see, here's the thing. You guys have learned the lesson from the races we had last night, which was make sure you have enough arrows for Ganon's Tower. We didn't have that problem again.
Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in.
All right, with that, we're going to wrap up here. Have a great rest of your day, everybody.
Yeah, GG's and
GG's as well, man. As I said, I'm going over to the NMG Weekly. Hopefully I'll finally crack the 140 mark.